Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tarot by the Pines. I am your emotional host for this channel, Jason. So folks, I am putting a bow on this video series where I dive into the 4 minor arcana suits. So I've done the wands, I've done the pentacles, I've done the swords, and now that it is fully spring, I am doing the cups because I see the minor suits as, well, you can see them many ways, but I associate the suits as seasons. Let's go into it, shall we? So I have the Centennial Edition for the traditional artwork, and then I have the unofficial Shitty Tarot for a more modern take on the cards. And then I have the Golden Girls Tarot as a kind of more traditional when it comes to this, but just has a little oomph in the artwork. Let's go into it. So the Suit of Cups deals with our emotional connection to feelings that deal with love, friendships, and relationships. It's basically about the ability to express oneself with our heart deeply. And of course, the element of the Suit of Cups is water. So going into the aces here, we have the very traditional artwork. The ace is basically about the beginning of this emotional need to express oneself and just feeling that love. The Ace of Cups here, so with like all the aces, the cup runneth over with emotions. So for this wine glass, it's no different. This particular interpretation, Moira enjoys her wine, and even though the herb wine is awful, as you can see in the episode, she wants another glass because that warm and fuzzy feeling that we get with wine, or when we have our emotional needs met or expressing, we get kind of warm and tingly and we just feel really good and happy. Although the warm and fuzziness with this wine, although temporary, brings more joy and happiness. And then, of course, with the Golden Girls Tarot, that is still the very traditional artwork, except it just looks flipped. So going in the 2, having that warm and fuzzy feeling that we get with ourselves, we kind of want to share it with someone, right? Because, you know, that's how it is when it comes to emotions. We get so happy and we just want to share it with others. So here, the very traditional, we have 2 people here sharing one's touch, as you can see here, that they're just lightly touching each other, and they have 2 different cups, basically about that alignment with harmony with one another. And then, of course, with the Shitty Tarot here, it does not always mean that it's a love connection, right? It could be like a best friend connection, a very deep bonding connection that we're sharing with someone. And it's about growing and strengthening that bond and having that balance, because it does take 2 to tango, right? And then, of course, with the Golden Girls here, you have Rose and Miles. This is one of her more frequent suitors in the Golden Girls. So she's basically strengthening that bond with Miles. So with the 3 here, this is the celebratory card. It's really fun. So with the Shitty Tarot here, we have Stevie and David. In the past card, they were strengthening their bond and realizing that they are indeed best friends. Here, they're going to share it with Twyla, who is at the restaurant that they frequently go to. It's about sharing that connection of love and friendship with others in a group. And again, with the Golden Girls, we have Rose here and Dorothy and Blanche. They're sharing their celebratory bond, or that emotional bond with each other, and having their cheesecake too. So the 4 here, we're getting a little deep here. So the 4 I see it as either boredom or lack of attention to new opportunities. We're so focused on what we have that when we have new opportunities that present itself, we are too focused on what's in front of us. And often, sometimes this new opportunity can bring more emotional fulfillment. So for here in the Shitty Tarot, we have Stevie basically sitting in front of the desk that she's always in front of at the motel. She's doing very mundane tasks and she's lacking that excitement. And here, this is a little bit of a different take, which I really love. So in the Golden Girls here, it depicts things have not worked in Rose's favor. She had moved from the apartment with, or the house with Dorothy and Blanche, and she's moved into a new apartment with new people. So she's learned that sometimes the grass just isn't always greener on the other side. She's reevaluating her decision, and she realizes she misses her best friends. So in the 5 here, we're going a little bit deeper. So the 5 is basically about having that regret. And basically, I call it the card of crying over spilled milk, because you have 3 cups that have been spilled, but behind you, you have 2 cups that are full. So you still have stuff to be really appreciative of, and realizing you do have some things. Not all are lost. So in the Shitty Tarot here, we have Moira, who is so focused on her losses, which she is focusing on 1 loss instead of here 3. She's so focused on this 1 that she is not realizing she has these 4 cups here, which is she still has a lot to be very thankful and appreciative of. And then with the Golden Girls Tarot, basically it's the same situation with here, crying over spilled milk, except these cups don't have anything in them, but she do have 2 cups behind her that presents a welcoming awakening that not all is lost. There is very much more to be appreciated in one's life. So going in the 6 here, it's more of an uplifting card. You can see this as a card of kindness, which you can see here. This individual is giving this individual a cup of flowers. So it's kind of like the kindness card. But when you come down here into the Shitty Tarot, you have Patrick, Stevie, David, Alexis, and then here Ted. They're playing a very nostalgic game. You can't tell me you did not have a childhood if you did not play Spin the Bottle. So this is a very nostalgia card, very interpreted or very depicted in nostalgia rather than kindness. So kindness is here. So going into here with the Golden Girls, again here it's Miles and Rose. This is definitely where this depicts that no matter who Rose was seeing, because Miles was the main love interest besides her, deceased husband of Charlie, Miles was the most prominent love figure in her life. She realizes that no matter who she was seeing, her connection for Miles always drew her back to him. So this could be, sometimes, we go back to the past in order to bring what was giving us more happiness to the future. So it's definitely different than the 4 and the 5, more uplifting. So here, the 7 is all about having choices in front of us. We have so many options in front of us that we really need to evaluate what's best for us before we can take the next step. So in the 7 of Cups here in the Shitty Tarot, Stevie decides to leave the motel business temporarily to be a flight attendant, but she is questioning her motive and choice, and she has all these unclear options in front of her. Ultimately, she trusts her gut, and she goes back to the motel business. She has made a choice that works best for her. And so for here, the Golden Girls Tarot, Rose is all of these different choices in front, or options in front of her, and she's taken a step to not make a very quick decision. She is doing basically the pros and cons of all these different choices. And then in the 8 is when we act upon that decision. So the 8 is about realizing that where we stand now, it's really not making our lives better, or it's not fulfilling us any longer. So we're moving forward. So the 8 of Cups in the Shitty Tarot, this depicts Ted moving out of the town of Schitt's Creek to go to the Galapagos to do research. And, you know, spoiler alert, I mean, if you haven't seen Schitt's Creek, then obviously you should have clicked on it. He leaves Alexis to follow his dream of researching, I think it was turtles, or just research in general in Galapagos. While his time with Alexis has been fulfilling, he realizes that he's doing what's best for him, and ultimately, I guess, what's best for Alexis, even though this new journey is, you know, it can be heartbreaking when you leave someone behind. Just like for the Golden Girls here, Rose has made a choice and she is moving forward. Going into the 9. The 9, I see this as wishes come true card. You have all of these cups here aligned, and you're basically realizing that you're in the step of having all your dreams come true. So for the 9 of Cups in the Shitty Tarot, after Stevie decides to come back to the motel business, Roland and Johnny team up to follow or to create the Rosebud Motel franchise. And then here with the Golden Girls Tarot, Rose has made the best decision of her life. So she has all of her cups aligned, and she has a cup here, and she's having cheesecake, the ultimate fulfillment in the Golden Girls. They love their cheesecake. So for the final card, the 10, this is about having that alignment, that harmony of all of our emotional needs have been met. In the Shitty Tarot here, we have Patrick and David, who have basically rooted themselves in Schitt's Creek, in the town of Schitt's Creek, and have bought themselves a house. They have taken their relationship to the next step, which was buying a house. This definitely is the card of the ultimate fulfillment in emotion. And then here with the Golden Girls, we have Rose, and I'm going to assume this was Charlie because this looks like a very young Rose. This is the, you know, having all of your cups aligned, and you're sharing it with someone, and then you're also going to branch out. So it's basically about rooting yourselves in your emotion and branching out and sharing it with your loved one and with everyone else you come across. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this dive into the Suit of Cups. I will be doing the court cards in a different video because that is just a whole nother beast in itself. You can look at the court cards in many different ways, but the minors are more, you know, cut and dry or cookie cutter, however you put it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the Suit of Cups? And let me know in the comments also, what is your favorite suit in tarot? So thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I will see you in my next video. So take care.